नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन क्रदिता पुराणेन मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनी अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ततामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी.
Verse 1.
Yes, verse 1.
Chapter 7, verse 1. Unfoldment to Tatpada.
Record.
Tatpada begins. In the first 6 chapters of Gita, the meaning of Tvam, you, the Jiva, in the Mahavakya Tattvamasi was unfolded in detail. Now in the following 6 chapters, the word Tat, Ishvara, the cause of everything, is a predominant topic. With a desire to unfold this, Sri Bhagavan says, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Saktamana Partha Yogam Yunjan Madasrayaha Asamsayam Samagram Mam Yata Nyasyasi Tashrunu. Sri Bhagavan, Lord Krishna, Uvacha said, Partha, O Partha, Mayi Idli Asaktamana, the one whose mind is committed, Madasrayaha, having surrendered to me, Yogam Yunjan, taking to yoga, Karma Yoga, Yata, in which way, Asamshayam, without any doubt, Samagram, totally, Mam, me, Ishvara,
Mam meaning Ishvara. Yeah.
Me, Ishvara, Jnanasyasi,
Jnasyasi meaning Jnasyasi, you will know. Yeah.
Jnanasyasi, you will know. That way, Shrinu, please listen. Sri Bhagavan said, Partha Arjuna, with a mind committed to me by taking to yoga and having surrendered to me, please listen to the way in which you will know me totally, without any doubt. With the word Mayi in the verse, Bhagavan introduces himself as a topic of this and the subsequent chapters. Maya Saktamanaha. Mayi, in me, Asaktamanaha. Manaha. A person whose mind is committed, Madasrayaha, is one for whom Parameshwara is the only Asraya, basis. In his commentary, Shankara explains the meaning of Madasraya as follows. A person becomes a desirer with reference to the desired end. To accomplish it, he adopts a means appropriate to that end, and that means is called Asraya. A ritual like daily Agnihotra is an Asraya for gaining punya to go to heaven. So the person is called Agnihotra
Ashraya, one who adopts Agnihotra to go to heaven. So Agnihotra Ashraya. Yeah.
To accomplish moksha, which Asraya should you have? The Lord says you should be Madasraya, Ishwarasraya, one whose Asraya is Ishvara. Generally you seek Ishvara for some end or the other. Here the end you are committed to is Ishvara himself, which is expressed in the word Maya Saktamanas. The Ishwarasraya wants Ishvara, that is, he wants to be free from being a jiva. That is, this is moksha. Parameshwara becomes the very end and also the means. Shankara further says that the one who seeks only Parameshwara as Asraya, giving up all other means, becomes a Maya Saktamanas. The Lord says, such a person's mind is committed only to me because for him I am the means and I am the end. These words are to be explained in this chapter. In seeking Parameshwara, the end and the means are the same. Here, you are seeking knowledge of the whole. This seeking is very peculiar because you can gain the whole by means that is other than the whole. The only means of gaining the whole is to know that I am the whole. There is no other way. Therefore, the end and the means in the final analysis become one and the same. If the means is separate from the end is going to be a limited one, appropriate to the means. If the whole is the end, the only means will be the whole. It cannot be less than that. Therefore, there are no means and end here, which is why it is said that the wise man's track leaves no footprints. We want to follow the track of a wise man, a man who has followed a path and reached the end. Wisdom. It is said that following the track of a wise man is like following the footprints of a bird in the sky. What footprints does a bird leave behind as it flies? Such are the footprints left behind by the wise man. The idea is that the means and the end are one and the same. There is no track between time and timeless, between finite and infinite, between the part and the whole, between Jiva and Ishvara. Having defined the seeker...
Swamiji, can you explain this? Means and the end.
Yeah,
can you explain this?
correct. Because for everything else, for every other knowledge or every other achievement, the means are separate from the end. So, what you do with the means, you seek the end, and then by seeking the end, neither the means disappear nor you disappear. Okay, in every other knowledge, you are there, the means is there, the end is achieved, and generally what they call vritti vyapti and phala vyapti, meaning by understanding you arrive at that particular end, and then by having achieved that end, the fruits of that end, phalam, the fruits of that end, you carry on life, and you are there, the means also are there, very much there. So somebody else can take care of, in the sense you will leave a footprint, meaning how you achieved that will be available for someone else to follow, and he can also catch the same means, and he can go for that phala of that the end, what we call phala. In this particular case, what he means is that there is no end, the sense, but there is no phala. In this particular knowledge, there is no phala. That is what we have to understand. That is why there is no achievement of Ishvara. There is only understanding of Ishvara. The sense, the understanding Ishvara is Ishvaroham. You are one with Ishvara. When there is one with Ishvara, when there is no second, where is the question of a subject or a means available for someone else? The person who has understood that he is one with Ishvara, it disappears, that's all. The individual who was earlier seeking and was looking at the means and all, he is not there. Himself is not there. Now he is with Ishvara, one with Ishvara. And when he says, you are Maya Asakta Manaha, that's what he means. In the sense, it is not a question of getting something, a phala. Asakta means generally getting a phala, which is not there. In this particular case, the only asakta is oneness with Ishvara. That is why there is no footprint. Once a person, the means and the Ishvara and yourself are one and the same, once that is understood, there is a question of a track.
Yes.
As far as he is concerned, it's all over. And he can, in the sense, the other person, that is why even in the Mundaka Upanishad and all that, they say, unless you seek this exclusively, meaning, once you understand this, there is nothing else. It is not a question of having this and having other things also in life. Okay, I have understood Atma, Brahman, Ishvara, Swarupam and all fine, nice, but I will have other things also. No, there is no other thing, there is no second thing, there is only Ishvaroham. That is the reality understanding. So that is why, in that respect only, is they say there is no footprint left. And that is why even in the second chapter, Bhagavan says, Stita Prajna Ka Bhasha, and he whole elaborately explains to Arjuna, saying that you cannot understand that a person who is in night cannot understand daylight. He says that very clearly and all that. Because the oneness, in this case, once, that is why they say, no, one Bhagavan, once you Irandara Kalanda, once, even in Vaishnava Sampradaya, that pair were going and this is merges with Ishvara and all that, they are trying to say that. But the understanding here, especially in this particular case, Bhashyakara says very clearly, I will tell you one thing, one more thing I will tell you, just a minute. So, what he says, Mayi Asaktam Manaha, the mind resolved, absorbed in me, Parameshware, Vachyamana Visheshane. From what I am going to tell in this chapter, Asaktam is not deeply attached as explained by Neo-Vedantins. Yogi Yunjan Manaha Samadhanam Kuruvan Mad Ashraya. Ahameva Parameshwaraha Ashrayaha. I myself and Ishvara are one and the same. That is the Ashraya. It is not a question of, that is where the Vaishnava Sampradaya, everything is different. In the sense, it is not a question of Bhagavan adopting you or something like that. It is, the oneness is the reality understanding. That is why they say it is Ishvara understanding. It is not a question of achieving a phalam as an end with the means. There is no achieving. You are already Ishvara, which you have to understand. So that is why there is no footprint. Compared to all other pursuits, there is a subject, there is an object which you achieve by through your means. Here, the subject and the object are one and the same once you understand. So there is no, the means and the end are one and the same. That is why there is no pala vyapti. There is only vritti vyapti. Vritti vyapti meaning you are understanding, that's all. You didn't understand till now you understand, that's all. The reality is already there. So that is how it is explained. See, one more thing also is there. And even in Ramana's Upadesha, he says, I am the means, I am the end. So there again, it means the same thing. It is Siddhasya Ishvara Darshanam. What is already Siddham, you understand. That is called Ishvara Darshanam. There is no real Darshanam. Ishvara is not separate from you. Siddhasya Ishvara Darshanam. That is what is Ramana says. So all those things. So that is how we have to look at this. That is why Ishvara understanding. It is not the worship. Ishvara worship is nothing but Ishvara understanding. That is the hallmark of Vedanta and different from all other darshanams. Where on all other darshanams, Ishvara still remains separate even after your understanding. It is for your worship. You understand that there is nothing else, everything is Ishvara, there is a surrender there. That's all fine. That bhavana is there. So thereafter anything and everything in your life you surrender unto Ishvara, it's good. In the sense that fear goes and all that. But still you are separate. And dasa, dasi, bhava, all those things are there. Whereas in this particular understanding, there is no second. That is why Advaita. That is, Ishwaroham is your reality. That is why it is explained this way. That is why even in the beginning itself, Ishvara, when we are getting into the topic of Ishvara, Bhagavan as well as Swamiji as well as Bhashyakara makes it very clear. There is no second. You are not achieving an end which is other than you. You and him are one and the same. It is already there. Siddhasya Ishvara Darshanam. The oneness which is already there, you understand. That is called Darshanam. That is what they are explaining. Yeah.
Can I interpret in a different fashion?
Yeah, tell me.
I am the Ishvara.
Actually, it's better to say, instead of saying I am the Ishvara, there is only Ishvara. There is no other than me. Other than Ishvara is not there. That way, there is no, this is people, once you tell that I am the Ishvara, they will, it can be interpreted that the I is very much there. when we say Ishvara alone is, the I is not there. The Ahankara, which I was always been telling, the uninvited guest is no more there. Thereafter, the fellow is just there to do your bidding. சாப்பிட போலாம்னா சாப்பிட போலாம், அங்க போலாம்னா இங்க போலாம், அதை பண்ணலாம் அதை பண்ணலாம், அவ்வளவுதான். He is your donkey. The ego is thereafter is your donkey. Ishwaroham is your reality. That is objective. Yeah.
What I wanted to say is, Ishvara, the end result is Ishvara, means is also Ishvara.
Yes.
How do we reach that place? That's also Ishvara.
Yeah, you have to understand, that is all. The only thing is, the means is Ishvara, the end is Ishvara. That has to be only an understanding. It is not a what you call a mean. As you get into it, as you get into this Shravanam, this understanding, you will understand that the means and the end are one and the same. The subject, the object, the means, all are one and the same. There is no second. That is what this understanding will help. As you understand, you will drop all your notions about yourself, all your notions about even the means and all that, even the Shastra, everything becomes Ishvara. Everything is Ishvara. Ishvara is the word. Shastra is what? Words and meanings. Padartham. And yeah, tell me.
Does that mean that, see, you say means Ishvara means, does that mean that Bhagavad Smarana always? Is it bhakti or?
No, it is a question of this pada and artha, words and meaning. Means what? Understanding is always through a knowledge. Okay, the knowledge is what? Words and meanings.
Okay.
Words and meanings. When you go through this understanding, you will find the words and meanings are only upachara. It doesn't really, words and meanings fall flat. The lakshyam, that is not vachyartham, it is lakshyartham. As it unfolds, you understand, you see the being, the awareful being, as the reality of Ishvara also. The awareful being, which is the Tvampadartha, till now we have been explaining, the same awareful being is the reality of Ishvara also. And when the awareful being, which is Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinnam, which is neither it's timeless, spaceless, and vastuless, objectless, that how can it be defined by words and meanings?
Okay.
It cannot. So it will all fall flat. You will see only the oneness. Once you see the oneness, you understand that it is oneness. So the footprints will not be there. The footprints are nothing but words and meanings. The words and meanings that are being referred to are nothing but footprints. That is why the bird does not leave a footprint in the sky and all those things they say. No? That means what? Words and ends fall flat. That is how it is. Words and meanings fall flat because it leaves an understanding. Vritti will create that understanding, then the vritti also will go away. Vritti is nothing but words and meanings. That also will go away. So you will see that your oneness, you will appreciate the awareful being which I am, the awareful being which is Ishvara also. That way, that understanding will dawn. That is what is explained to you in so many ways. It's not a words, it's not a vachyartha, it's a lakshyartha. Lakshyartha meaning which is already there. Praptasya praptihi, which you are already one with Ishvara. There is no second. The whole thing is only one being which is appearing as subject, object, this and that and all that. So that differentiation, that fragmentation will disappear from your psyche, from your understanding. That once that is there, thereafter everything else is only vyavahara. That which you will be doing like normal everything else, but your understanding at the back of it will be very clear that Ishwaroham. So everything is in the domain of Ishvara, everything is the Sannidhanam of Ishvara, everything is happening. I am doing my bit, which we have been discussing on the entire first 6 chapters, which will get reinforced by Ishvara understanding and by Jagat understanding. Jagat means what? Adi Devikam, Adi Bhautikam, Adi, Adhyatmakam, and all that they will come. Each chapter will tell what is Jagat Srishti, Adhyatmakam, Adi Bhautikam, Adi Devikam, and they will explain all these are nothing but you, the being, the Ishvara, one and the same. Everything is, it is all in terms of knowledge. It's a question of your understanding. Once you understand it, there is no separation, there is no second, there is no fear, there is no question of Bhaya Bhakti. In terms of there is Bhayam will go, only Bhakti will remain. So that is the important part of it. Yeah.
And Swamiji, just now you were saying, he said, I am Ishvara, and you said that shows I was thinking, you told us to keep thinking, no, Aham Brahmasmi. So, sometimes when somebody hurts you or when you don't like to hear certain things, if I think, I am Purnam, then I myself thought sometimes, the ego sets in, I am Purnam. I am not affected, I am Purnam. So I want to ask you that. Then I also felt sometimes it is due to ego. I am trying to get away from the situation thinking I am Purnam. It is not, really thinking I am Purnam.
Yeah, so, Ishvara alone is. The I gets dissolved. Ego gets dissolved because ego is a propped up entity. It is purely a fictitious entity in our life. It is all, it is kept, that is Maya, in the sense, till the time you understand it has a role to play, that ego, even that Swamiji Paramarthananda talks about Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa meaning the reflected consciousness, he will say. In the Ashtavakra Gita, Ashtavakra says, even Chidabhasa should not be talked about. Only Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa meaning reflected consciousness. Till the time till the time you understand this oneness, you can say that I am the Bhagavan's reflection. Okay, Bhagavan reflection, I am seeking Bhagavan, like that. But even that reflection is only a fictitious thing. Like when the sun is in different, different bottles of water, when it reflects, it looks as though there are separate, so many suns. But reflection is not reality, it is only mithya. So even though in all of us, Antaryami, Bhagavan is there, in you, me, everyone, that Antaryami is only oneness, the Ishvara alone, appearing in different upadhis for the purpose of Vyavahara. That is true. That is why that I, the reflected I, Chidabhasa also, is not real. It is only fictitious. So you don't have to say that I am Ishvara, you can say Ishvaroham. Sannidhanam, this body, this whatever, Upadhi, whatever. Upadhi means what? Upadhi itself, in Tamil, Upadhi means Upadai. Upadhi means, in Sanskrit, you have to explain. Whereas in Tamil, we don't have to explain. Upadai is a defect. Yeah. So that is a beauty. Even in Tamil, certain words are very beautiful. Upadai means defect. So Upadhi, we are supposed to be Upadhi. Upadhi meaning a separate identification temporarily till the time you understand. So it is a defect only. The temporary identification I other than you is only temporary and it is defective. That is why it's called Upadhi, adjunct, what they will call an adjunct. In English, adjunct is the word. And also adjunct is, in mathematics, it is called a construction. Construction is an imaginary line to prove certain things. But that really doesn't exist. Till the time you understand, you use that. Thereafter you throw it off. Likewise, this I identification is till the time you understand that Ishvaroham. Thereafter this identification goes away. That is why I was saying the Ishvaroham is the reality. Ishvaroham is the reality. That is how it is to be looked at. That way there is the problem of ego and all will not come. So when we are in certain situation, we can say Ishvaroham. That is a nice way to look at ourselves. We don't get buffeted by a situation or get overwhelmed by a situation by understanding that Ishvaroham. That is what this chapter, the 7th chapter will emphasize, that Ishvaroham situation. Attaha anyaha na. Other than me, there is nothing else. Other than me, the me, mattaha, is nothing but Ishvara. Mattaha anyaha na is nothing but Ishvara. Then you are included in that automatically. So thereafter you can say mattaha anyaha na, wherever you are. So that means what? Mattaha anyaha na means yes, everything there is only oneness, there is only Ishvara. That is how the whole, the 7th chapter, the theme is Mattaha Anyahana, which I think I made one capsule later, I will share it with you once we finish. Yeah.
If the means is separate from the end is going to be a limited one, appropriate to the means. If the whole is the end, the only means will be the whole. It cannot be less than that. Therefore, there are no means and end here, which is why it is said that the wise man's track leaves no footprints. We want to follow the track of a wise man. A man who has followed a path and reached the end. Wisdom. It is said that following the track of a wise man is like following the footprints of a bird in the sky. What footprints does the bird leave behind as it flies? Such are the footprints left behind by the wise man. The idea is that the means and the end are the one and the same. There is no track between time and timeless, between finite and infinite, between the part and the whole, between Jiva and Ishvara. Yeah, it's quite clear.
Yeah.
Having defined the seeker as one who is totally committed to the pursuit of Parameshwara, Krishna continues, Asamshayam samagram mam yata jnasyasi tashrunu.
Yeah, basically, asamshayam samagram mam yata jnasyasi tashrunu. Asamshayam samagram mam. Samagram mam, everything is Purnam, is mam Ishvara eva. Asamshayam, without doubt. Yata, that is how I am going to teach now. Jasyasi tashrunu. My teaching, you listen to it carefully. That's what Bhagavan says. Yeah.
Yata, in which way, Jasyasi, you will know, Mam, me, Ishvara, Samagram in totality, Asamshayam, without any doubt, as a whole, as the one who is everything, endowed with all glories, such as strength, power, overlordship, and so on. That, Shrinu, please listen. By what means, following which trail of thinking, you will recognize me in totality. To that means, please listen. This verse introduces what is going to come, not only in this chapter, but in those to follow. The following 6 chapters deal primarily with Parameshwara, and there is one more verse of introduction here.
Verse 2, Vijnana is distinguished from Jnana. Jnanam teham sa vijnanam idam vakshyamya aseshataha yat jnatva neha bhuyonyat jnatavyam avasishyate. Idam jnanam, this knowledge, sa vijnanam, along with immediate knowledge, te, to you, aham vakshyami, I will teach, aseshataha, without any omission, yat jnatva, knowing which, here, bhuyaha anyat, any other thing that is more than this. Jnatavyam, to be known, na avasishyate, does not remain. I will teach you without any omission this knowledge, along with immediate knowledge, knowing which there remains nothing else to be known here. Idam savijnanam, this immediate knowledge, for which the subject matter is me, Parameshwara, the cause of everything, and who is everything, te, to you, vakshyami, I will tell, aseshataha, without anything being omitted. What kind of knowledge is this? When jnana and vijnana are mentioned together, it means that vijnana is something different from jnana. Jnana can mean immediate knowledge, but because he says jnana with vijnana, the jnana is little less than vijnana. Here V means visesha, distinctive. Therefore, vijnana is immediate knowledge and jnana is indirect knowledge.
Generally, they will say Paroksha Jnanam and Aparoksha Jnanam. Paroksha Jnanam is knowing Bhagavan as everything. But still I am knowing, since I am knowing Bhagavan is everything, I keep myself away. Whereas Aparoksham is, I is included in that already. That's why even in the Vishwarupa Darshanam, Arjuna was afraid because in the Vishwarupa, he doesn't include himself. If he, in Vishwarupa means it's total, cosmic total form. In that, obviously, Arjuna is also there, he is also included. If he is already included in that, where is the question of Bhayam? We cannot look at ourselves. Because suppose I have to look at myself, I need another mirror or something like that. I cannot look at myself. My eyes cannot look at myself. In the same way, in the Vishwarupa, which is total, in the total, the individual also is already included. Arjuna is already included. Why? How can he have fear? That is because he looked at himself separately from the Vishwarupa Darshan. That is why he got fear. Which he should, that is where the mistake is. That is why Bhagavan later says, you should not, even in this chapter he says, you should not look at yourself as separate from Ishvara. Then only all your, even in Upanishad it comes, Udaram Antaram Kurute Ata Tasya Bhayam Bhavati, meaning in Taittiriya Upanishad it comes. Udaram Antaram Kurute, meaning Uru Mayirirai Yalavu Kuda, you cannot separate yourself from Bhagavan. Udaram Antaram. Udaram Antaram means very, very Mayirirai Alavuda and the gap. Like, when you close the lips, between the two lips there is a line, right? That is called Udaram. Udaram Antaram Kurute. Even that sort of a difference you have between you and Ishvara, you will always Udaram Antaram Kurute Ata Tasya Bhayam Bhavati. Bhayam is guaranteed in your life. Bhagavan says. So, that the oneness should be total. There is no second. That is the appreciation, that is the understanding. That is what is the difference between Jnana and Vijnana. Jnana is, academic understanding. Atma Satyam is Jnana. Satyam Atma is Jnana. Whereas Atma Satyam is Vijnana. There is a difference. That is why I always quote that Sandhyavandanam Mandram. Brahmaivaha Satyam. When we say, Abhinayena, when we put our hands onto our heart and say, Brahmaivaham Satyam, when we say that, then that understanding is total. There is no Satyam other than I. That is a Asa Adityor Brahma, Brahmaivaha Satyam, Brahmaivaham Asmi, Brahmaiva Satyam. When we say that, that understanding should be total. The oneness should be total. That is what it means. There is a difference between Jnana and Vijnana. Vijnana means, Vishesha Jnana means something immediate. Immediate meaning what? Right now I understand that Ishwaroham. That is the thing Bhagavan is trying to tell Krishna, Arjuna. Yeah.
So, Paroksha Jnanam is Vijnana.
Paroksha Jnanam is Jnanam. Aparoksha Jnanam is Vijnana. Aparoksha means what? Self.
Okay.
Aparoksham is self. Paroksham is indirect. Aparoksham is direct. Direct means immediate. You. There is nothing aparoksham other than you in life. Only thing that is aparoksham is self. That is the uniqueness of self. And even that understanding, the self is the unique thing, aparoksham. Only we can say that, only human being can say that. Aparoksham, the self-conscious, that is the uniqueness, and that is the starting point for all our problems. Because we are self-conscious, we are self-judging. Swamiji always used to say that. Why? Because self-conscious means what? I know the self, I am. And I also I'm very clear that my body, mind, senses, all my accomplishments, name, fame, everything falls short of this self. It can never fulfill my self-conscious being. Uninhibited consciousness is self. And everything else is inhibition. Inhibition meaning what? Only when you are different from Gayatri, you can call yourself as Krishna Kumar and Gayatri. Automatically, the separation, the inhibition has to be there. Your body stops here and her body starts there. That at the separation, then there will be two people to converse or to transact business. And the separation is alleviated in that is called inhibited consciousness, two separate bodies. Whereas uninhibited consciousness is self. And that is the same in all. When it is uninhibited by time, space, object, that is called that self, that has to be the same in all. That cannot be different. That is called aparoksham. That is the aparoksham self, which is being which is the sum and substance of the whole Shastra. Uninhibited consciousness. Adudha onoda satyam. That being the satyam of you, you cannot digest or you cannot stay with anything else. Till the time you understand that Aparoksha Atma as your reality and totally asamsayam manahamaha bhava, without any doubt, when you are able to see yourself only, your journey comes to an end. Because that is how you are born. You are born with uninhibited consciousness, self-conscious being. And that is why you are self-judging all the time in your life. Till the time you understand, you will be judging yourself. And you will always fall short. Because anything inhibited will fall short of uninhibited. It is natural. So how to get out of this? You have to understand that I am uninhibited. Every inhibition, body, mind, same, is only for Vyavahara. It is just a vibhuti. It is my own vibhuti. Ishvara's vibhuti. Just for transaction purpose. Only to see the glory of the whole thing. There is no other mahatvam other than my own mahatvam in this whole world, in this prapancha. The whole crux of the whole Shastra is like that. Shastra also explains it that way, uses it as a methodology. Since you are looking yourself as separate, okay, it takes that cue from you. It tells you why you are judging yourself. All the time you are falling short, you are not happy. Evladha achieve pannalu, you are not happy. Because that whatever your achievement is belonging to the inhibited person. Whereas what you want to be is uninhibited. Inhibited person ennada achieve pannalu, you are not going to, because you are uninhibited. Adhanala you have to get back to that reality. Abdinga Shastra uses your own judgment about yourself to tell you that drop this, drop this, drop this, drop this, drop this, finally come to me. So that is where the Shastra's methodology is. I have told you also earlier. Adhyaropa apavadabhyam nishprapancham prapanchade. It is a methodology used by Shastra to take you from what you judge yourself to be to what you are. What you judge yourself to be is an inhibited person. And what you want is uninhibited Purnam. And you say, why are you unnecessarily owning up what you are not? Drop it. Then automatically you are already self-Purnam. Uninhibited consciousness is your reality. So unless you reach your reality, you will not be satisfied. Shastra uses your own judgment about yourself to take you to your reality. Because that is how all of us are born. Human being is born with that. Two things, self-consciousness and self-judgment. Two things are already there, whether anyone agrees or not. If you really probe, automatically we will come to know there is some judgment going on. He is not happy with himself. That is why he thinks that by doing this, 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 I will become. He has been trying all these janmas. Pariksha lokan, karma chittan, nirvedam ayat brahmanaha. Now I understand. It's all a futile exercise. However much I become, I won't be happy. Because I have to understand my being, not becoming. Becoming is other than me. Being is my reality. That is why, that is the whole teaching, especially Vedanta teaching, especially Shankara and Advaita Vedanta. There other darshanas, Vishishta Advaita, Advaita, even all other religions, they they keep you separate. And they say, okay, Vishwara is all in all, everything, you surrender and you be a happy person. By surrendering all your problems unto Vishwara, be a happy person temporarily. That is how it is. But that will not go far, even though it may be okay for a time being, but unless you understand your reality, because the reality can never be denied. Reality of any vastu, even science tells that electron, unless it goes back to its natural state, it will be always excited. That is, we see in the chemistry everywhere. Everywhere you have to go back to your natural state. Then only you will be complete. It is available even because the entire prapancha is nothing but Ishvara only. So it shows in so many places that you have to go back to your natural state. Go back to your natural state, which we see in science, everywhere we see. So your natural state means what? Your natural reality is the self-conscious being. Consciousness, desha kala vastu aparichinnam, being. The same thing, the tvam padartha, which you can intimately see. Once you can intimately see and you find that it is uninhibited consciousness, then Ishvara cannot be anything else. Can Ishvara be inhibited? Ishvara cannot be inhibited. So he also has to be uninhibited. So in what way he can be different from me? Limitless, if limitless does not include me, it becomes limited by me, no? Limitless is limitless only when it includes me. So Ishvara cannot be other than me. So that is how the whole teaching goes. Yeah. Yeah, read further.
Krishna says, I will give you this jnana. For me, it is and therefore, what I teach you is something that I see. It is not merely what I have heard. This is what I see, and what I see, I am teaching you. So, these words have pramanya, the capacity to produce the same knowledge, the same vision in you. Once you see, you have vijnana, and you are left with no doubt, no vagueness. This is one meaning.
So this is what I have been insisting on my talks, Sabda Pramanam. Once this is told and it is understood, there the teaching is complete. That is what he says, Pramanya. Pramanya meaning the words as they are told, that you are the awareful being, you are uninhibited consciousness, you are Purnam. As it is told by Bhagavan, you should get it directly. That is direct Pramanam it is. That is why it is called Praman. Praman, like even when you see through the, as I have explained before also, when you see through the eyes, when you see something, it forms an image. This particular object forms an image on my screen. Okay, in the eye, this object and my screen are aligned. The retina is aligned. Immediately the image falls on that. There is no interference. My ego or anything else cannot interfere the image falling on my screen. It is direct. This is called direct pramanam. This is called. The same way, the words of the Shastra and Bhagavan tells that your reality, you, is awareful being by which you are seeing your own eyes, ears, mind, emotion, everything. The being is your reality. When he says, the way in which he says, the methodology he adopts, as he says, you will understand totally. That is what Bhagavan assures Arjuna. He says, as I say it, these words will become pramanyam. You will immediately get it without any doubt. That is what he says. That is what he is going to tell now. Yeah.
Another meaning would be, I will teach you this knowledge in a manner that will make it immediate for you, not indirect. Again, you understand that this knowledge is to be gained only as immediate, direct knowledge, not as indirect knowledge. Generally, knowledge of Parameshwara is understood to be indirect. You tend to think of Parameshwara as someone unknown. One devotee said, Yadroshi
Yadrishosi Mahadeva Tadrishaya Namo Namaha. Yeah, beautiful. You see, read that, yeah.
Yadrishoshi Mahadeva Tadrishaya Namo
Tadrishaya Namo Namaha. Yadrishosi Mahadeva Tadrishaya Namo Namaha. Yeah.
Namo Namaha. Oh Bhagavan, I do not know how you are, what you are, where you are. So, in whichever form you are, I salute you again and again. The meaning
what it means is, the eppadi irkiyo appadi vanangikiren. In the sense, he is not even interested in trying to know what is. The eppadi irkiyo, I am saluting you. That's what he says, yeah. Because he looks at Ishvara as something unknown. It's a bhakti bhavana. That is how everyone of us start. Ishvara is not something fathomable. Well, because we define Ishvara is unfathomable. Then how can you fathom it? You only define Ishvara is unfathomable, omniscient, omnipotent, everything. And everything you cannot see. Infinite, supreme, everything we say. And then how can you see? With finite eyes, how can you see infinite? So naturally you will have to pray like this only. That is what he says. That is what the Bhakta's bhavana. Yeah.
This person has a feeling, a sense that there is a God. But how he is, what he is, he does not want to conclude. It is a prayer which has some faith, but at the same time with certain vagueness and doubt. Perhaps it is the right prayer. We tend to make conclusions about Ishvara. He plays it safe. In effect, he asks Ishvara, please fill in all the qualifications you require to define yourself. It is like addressing a letter to whomsoever it may concern. The one who receives the letter has to think it is addressed to me. Here, however, it is just the opposite. Krishna says, Ishvara Jnana need not be paroksha, indirect. It can be aparoksha. Only aparoksha Jnana of Ishvara is moksha. Paroksha Jnana is useful for offering prayers, etc. But the final result of prayer is aparoksha Jnana, immediate knowledge of Parameshwara. With any other understanding, you will be omitting yourself from Parameshwara and thereby editing him. Minus you, Parameshwara is only another anatma, not atma. But if he is other than you, he becomes located somewhere. So there is someone called Jiva in the heart and another person called Ishvara out there somewhere in the vast space. This is duality. Anything other than you is anatma, and since only atma is conscious, anatma is inert. It cannot reveal itself to you, the conscious being. If Ishvara is other than you, he is inert, and still you say he is sarvajna. It is merely lip service. But here Krishna says, I will teach this immediate knowledge in its entirety without anything being left out.
Clear, Arka? It's the same thing which what I have been telling. This come. I think this part of it should be very clear. There should not be any hesitation to one up. This is called, no, this is, that is what, even in Mundaka Upanishad, that third chapter, final chapter, when you go through, when you read it, 3.2.3, he says, this is the only way to know. If you want to, unless you are willing to know it this way, this knowledge will bless you. You cannot say, I will have this also and I will have other things also, then you will not understand this. There is no other, that sort of a totality, unless you choose to know, this knowledge will not bless you. Upanishadkara himself tells, Mundaka Upanishad tells, you have to have this total surrender to this understanding. This understanding has, because it doesn't preclude any other. That is why even jocularly Swamiji will say, Vedanta is a very jealous lady. It will not accept the second thing. You must be very clear when you enter this. You total understanding. This understanding has to be total. There is no second. That is called Advaita because that is the reality. That is how we have to look at it. Yeah.
Praise of knowledge. Knowing one thing, everything is as well known. To draw your attention and to complete the thought, Krishna praises.
You have to read it like this. Knowing one thing, everything is as well known. It is not as well known, it is as well known. As well known is a usage in English. As well known is a usage as good as nothing else is there. That is what it means, as well known meaning. Yeah.
Knowing one thing, everything is as well known. To draw your attention and to complete the thought, Krishna praises this knowledge. Yajñatva, knowing which.
Yajñatva, knowing which.
Yajñatva, knowing which. Iha, in this world or in the Shastra. Bhuyaha anyat, anything else which is more than this. Jnatavyam, to be known. Na avasishyate, is not there at all. Generally, when you know one thing, even though you know that one thing, there is always something else to know. In fact, even within that one thing, there are lots of areas to be known. But here he says, knowing that one thing, which is me, everything will be known because I am everything. However, you may ask, how can I know everything? I am capable of knowing only a few things. Krishna says that there is no Jnatavya Vastu. That is
Jnatavya Vastu meaning to be known Vastu. Yeah.
That is something that really deserves to be known. After knowing this, nothing remains that deserves to be known. In this entire world, only one thing is Satya, and once you know Satya, Mithya becomes naturally evident. What is Mithya is Satya, but Satya is not Mithya. We discussed this in detail while dealing with the verse Nasato Vidyate Bhavaha, chapter 2, 16.
In the beginning only we have said, only Sat is Bhavam. Only Sat as Bhavam, everything else there is no other thing. That is why Nasato Vidyate Bhavaha. Bhavaha, which I have explained, Bhavaha is reality. Ontological reality. In my talk I have told, I have quoted also. Bhavaha means reality, Sataha means truth. So, true knowledge there is only in epistemologically, Abaditam Satyam is knowledge. With that definition, there is no knowledge other than Atma. And there is only one reality, Bhavaha, which is ontological reality, which is changeless. So only thing which is changeless is reality. Everything else which is changing cannot be called reality. Ever silver can never become silver. So that is a famous example of Swamiji. Ever silver. So Vivaharika reality, Sokale, Satyavad Bhati, adallam chapakattu. Transact பண்ணும்போது பேசிக்கிறதுக்கு there is some you and I are different. That's all. That's all. Sokale, Satyavad Bhati. Generally people will stop there. Sakale Satyavat Bhati. Prabodhe Asat. அப்படின்னு அந்த மந்திரம் முடியும். Prabodhe Asat. Once you wake up to the reality, everything comes Asat. So that understanding, that is what he means. Nasato, na vidyate bhava. That is what he is quoting. So once you know that, there is no another thing to know. Everything else is as well known. Okay, you can still do vyavahara with that. But there is nothing to know there. Because the reality, the knowledge, Avaditam Satyam, the true knowledge, you already got it. Everything else falls short. That is why as well known. Everything else is as well known. Yeah.
Swamiji, can you please repeat that? Satyavad Bhati. Pramod.
Swakale Satyavad Bhati. Prabodhe Asat. Swakale Satyavad Bhati, Prabodhe Asat, we can easily understand by looking at the dream. Dream la irukra varaikum ella satyama thonum. Once you Prabodhe means once you wake up, the dream becomes falsified, right?
Yeah.
And Bhagavan says, your waking reality also is nothing like a long dream. Once you wake up to this reality, this gets falsified. Okay, falsified for you, but others will still look at it as Satyam. That is why Vyavahara is possible. But somebody will ask, if everyone knows, Bhagavan himself will say, Andamai ஒரு stage வரைக்கும் வரலப்பா, இத்தனை யுகம் வந்து போயாச்சு. There is always some fellow who doesn't understand this. So Vyavaharam will still continue. You don't worry about that. நீ புரிஞ்சுக்கோ. What is important is you understand the reality so that you can navigate life peacefully and we can be a happy person and transact with others, be helpful, because you know you have nothing to gain. You are Purnam Brahma. So that way you can be helpful to society, be there, be around. So you don't have to worry that if everyone comes to know what happens. Everyone comes to know, so many yugas have come and gone. Rama has come and gone, Krishna has come and gone. Not everyone has known. So you don't have to worry about that. So that is all. I don't want to know. I don't want to drop the baggage. I want to be having all these things, plus I want to know Vedanta. That doesn't work, he says. Yeah.
However, you may ask, how can I know everything? What is reckoned here as something to be known makes the difference in life. To know the Swarupa of me, Ishvara is Ishvara.
No. To know the Swarupa of me, Ishvara, is to know everything. Yeah.
Is to know everything. And Satya happens to be the Swarupa of Ishvara, which is you, which is why it is possible to shed your ignorance about the fact. You are a self-evident being whose Swarupa is Satya. The knowledge of Satya, the Atma, is knowledge of everything. When you know this, you know that everything is me, while I am independent of everything. When you take the self as something different from everything, you find that everything else keeps colliding with you. The whole world becomes an impediment that you have to surmount, for it is how you look upon the world. Aham, opposed to the world, is to be understood as Sarva Atma, the self of everything. It is Parameshwara. Krishna is going to prove that Aham is Paramatma, that I is everything. Later he says, I am Brahman, the cause of the whole creation, the Tatpada Artha, and you are that Brahman. And then he will say, the one who knows me as the self is the one who is not separate from me. He knows everything. Shankara says here, knowing this, there is no longer anything to be known in order to achieve something. The end that is to be achieved for a human being is achieved. Nothing remains. He says further that the one who knows the truth of Ishvara becomes all-knowing. There is no other knowledge that can make this claim. Every other form of knowledge is only of a given thing, which is mithya. Here, the knowledge is of that Satya, which is everything. Therefore, all you have to know is that Satya. This is the secret of this knowledge. Lord Ganesha knew this secret. Lord Shiva had a partiality for Ganesha. His younger son Subramanya was always complaining, why are you so fond of Ganesha? So Lord Shiva gave them both a test. He asked each of them to go around the entire world and come back. Now Subramanya thought, this is a wonderful chance for me to prove how great I am. He was confident because he had a fine vehicle, a peacock, and he knew that Ganesha was slow moving with a huge stomach and had only a mouse as a vehicle. If he gets on this vehicle, when is he going to return? The poor mouse cannot even move. And so Subramanya knew that he was going to win and set off on his peacock. But when he returned after his big trip, he found that Ganesha already had the prize in his hand. Surprised, he asked, how could you finish before me on your mouse? Where did you go? Then Lord Shiva said, do you know what he did? He went around me and Parvati. Subramanya went all over the universe and Ganesha just went round the Lord. And when Lord Shiva asked Ganesha what he was doing, he said, you asked me to go around every place. You are everything. Therefore, I go around you. Here it is the same thing. Knowing this, there is nothing left out. This simple story tells us that the Lord is everything and knowing his Swarupa, which is oneself, upon which the whole world exists, and by whom the whole world is sustained, is knowing everything. Praising the knowledge of the one that is to be known, Krishna presents its rarity.
Yeah, see, that also is exemplified by our own doing. We do Atma Pradakshinam. We do Atma Pradakshinam, no? Suppose we are not, even in daily puja and all that, when we are not going around the deity, because deity is generally on the wall. You don't have a puja room and all that, it's all in the wall. So you cannot go around the deity, there is no praharam. There is no praharam. So what we do, all of us are doing Atma Pradakshinam. Means what? You are the Ishvara. That is why you are doing Atma Pradakshinam and you are clear that you are doing the Pradakshina of Ishvara. So this story also falls in the same genre. Like Atma is the Ishvara in all of us. That confirms. In our culture it is already there. We have to only understand it. That's all. So I think it's
Practice.
no, it's not a sense. You just have to burn it up. You don't have to, no, not even. See, you look at yourself. You are always looking for the uninhibited person. No, you can't. Human being can never accept any inhibition. That is precisely why we are judging us all the time. யாரு என்ன வேணா சொன்னாலும் நமக்கு we always feel something is missing. இது ஒன்றும் பெட்டரா பண்ணிருக்கலாம். இது ஒன்றும் I could have done better. Even சாப்பாடு, even I could have done something better. Others may appreciate, but still you will feel that because the totality is your reality, and totality cannot come by doing. Totality is only being. You have to have that antar. You have to antaryami. You have to one of that. I am Bhagavan. Then you will not seek fulfillment in doing. You will be happily doing things rather than doing for happiness. We have assumed that Antaryami okay, upacharam vendikiradhukku naan bhavana irukka mudiyadunu tirmanam panniyachu. For janmas we have done that. So we find it very difficult. That is where that meditation, that just be meditation, all this, even this beautiful 7th chapter, what we read through today, this entire, whatever, if we really, even that is a nididhyasanam. You must be able to own it up. Bhagavan says, not you and I. Bhagavan himself says, who else will tell like this? It's a blessing.
Yes.
I think we'll stop here. It's a nice way to stop. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti.